Hello everybody, how are y'all doing today? I am so excited about what I just thought about talking about and expressing about over my YouTube. Now for a minute I have been trying to figure out like what exactly is what everybody calls your niche. Like what is my niche, right? Now if I had to pick a niche, because I like to do a lot of different things, I would have to say my niche will probably just be simply helping people, and then doing so with living my everyday life, because I talk about a lot of stuff on this channel, but the core of all my conversations, what I just realized, is just simple helping. Before I know, I made a video about trying to help my people in my industry, and that's true, but that's what I was doing it for, because that's what my heart and my passion was. But my true niche really is just helping people. I look back, I thought about my life and things I've gotten into, whether it was altercations, defending folks, or whatever. The core of that has always been just to help, just to try to alleviate some people of not having to go through harsh things, or trying to help others, or not to be so down on people. So it kind of hit me like, this is what I've been doing all the time, but it really, as far as this, just hit me as, this is your calling. This is what you have always did, no matter what you do, is simply helping people. That's who I am. I love and I like to help people. And not to deter from the topic, because this whole series, because it really is going to be a series, is about helping fellow YouTubers. So doing this, I'm going to go through explaining, why I got into YouTube. Originally, there was a reason I started recording videos, but there was really a reason why I actually got into YouTube itself, right? So we're gonna go ahead and jump into that. But what I would like to do is this is gonna kind of explain where I'm kind of moving forward. It'll still probably be a lot of videos about a lot of different various things or what's going on, but I just had to get that out, because it just hit like an epiphany moment with me. This is your calling. This is what you've always done your whole life. And now, that saying where it says your gift will make room for you. Helping people is my gift. That is my gift. Helping people. And in doing so, my gift that God gave me, now He's given me many talents with that gift, but the gift is just simply helping people. Genuinely helping people. So you will learn about various things about myself. Now, I was always trying to figure out, once I started doing videos, like, how do I incorporate some of the things I've went through in my life? Because just coming out and talking about them sometimes, you don't want to step on anybody's toes, especially when you think of other people's feelings before you think of your own. Or you don't want to get people upset, but really it's your story. It's not you're telling their story, you're telling your story. It's just somehow they're in your story, because we're all in this thing called life together. So we all intertwine with each other in one way or the other. So going on this journey, you're going to really see like a lot of stuff about my life that I have spoken with or written, like far as on social media, through people, by giving them advice and trying to help based off of what I went through. But moving forward, you're really going to hear my story. This is my story. And my story was not just my story, just like I have told plenty of people before in the past. Your story isn't just your story for you. Your story's your story for somebody else, to help them. Okay, but moving forward, now that I finally got my epiphany moment, and it came at the most weirdest moment, literally the most weirdest moment. I know how to move forward. I know how to move forward with my channel. Okay, so what I like to talk about right now, and moving forward with my channel, is let's do an experiment, right? Let's figure out together how to beat this YouTube algorithm. Right? Because I was doing some research, and you're going to learn that about me. I do a lot of research on a lot of different topics that I have interest in. Matter of factly, that's what really brought me to YouTube. I started my YouTube channel back in August of 2018. So it's basically been about 6 years, 3 months since I've had this channel. And I have made probably like 100, I think 117, 118 videos, somewhere around there, as of today of this video. But I have, in the 6 years, when I joined YouTube, it wasn't for the purpose of making videos and building an audience. It really was research I was doing. And this is going to reveal something about my past. At the time, I was trying to figure out the pattern of something I was into. And that's what actually drove me to YouTube. Because I'm the type of person that always looks for patterns. Patterns is it. I feel like once you figure out a pattern with something, you're locked in. Everything has a pattern. I don't care what it is, whether it's a job, whether it's a system, whether it is an idea, whether it is a social media or whatever. No matter what, there is patterns to everything. And once you discover and unlock that pattern, you're in. You are essentially in it, right? And you can roll from there. So when I originally got on YouTube, I really was coming on here because of at the time I had already got to this point where I was kind of like into gambling and stuff like that, looking for patterns in gambling, and that's kind of what did it with me. To share a little bit about that story was I had been going to these little places they call casinos in my area. I'm from Florida, and during that time they had these places where you could go at and play little casino games. Now originally when I started going to the games, I went with a family member. It was a cousin of mine, and I was just basically, because she was like, girl, let me show you something where you can kind of make some money, because during that time I was having a really hard time in my life. I mean, one of the lowest points of my life I felt like I had just came out of, and my situation still wasn't any better. I was staying with a family member, the particular cousin at the time, and my mind was going, because at that point I was business minded. I was in this thing what we called back in North Carolina. I had got introduced into prepaid legal. Great system, by the way. And when I tried to implement it here in Florida, back then it used to be you had to have a license, so it was kind of hard for me to promote it with the state of mind that I was in. Not saying that it was hard to I was in sales, and at one point in North Carolina I was like one of the top sales people in that area for that particular thing, because like I said, when I get into something I really dig myself into it. But when I had to shift and move back home, there were stipulations that I did not have in North Carolina that I now had, and I had to figure out a way how to get through those in order to remain prosperous in what I was doing. But like a lot of things, bills, kids, not really having my own place, the business that I thought I had in North Carolina that I was going to now try to bring back here to Jacksonville, Florida, where I came back to, because that was home for me, was trying to start that business there, going through a divorce, not really getting any help from anybody when it came as far as finances, and very little help when it came to people wanting me and my 5 children being in their home. That just wasn't, I ain't have people throwing out offers of helping me. That just wasn't it. Then also as well as government assistant, like I made too little to survive, but I made too much to get on anything, and I'm not a person that will lie about things. So I was in a bad situation. So anyway, I was staying with my cousin at the time, And she, she was really heavily into gambling. But some people look at her and say she had a gambling problem. Okay, yeah, maybe. But one thing about it was she was good at what she did. She just didn't know how to stop. But the girl was good, right? And she would make tons of money. Like her fiance, her husband, that ended up becoming her husband at the time. He would give her money to go out, and that was her fun. He didn't care about the money she was spending up there, so it wasn't like she was doing it behind his back or anything. He was giving it to her to go do it. So, make a long story short, anyway. I would go up there with her, just basically sitting there watching her. She would offer me at first, money, and I was like, "No, I don't want to lose your money. Like, you do it. I just watch you." But me, being me, I still was looking for those patterns, right? So I was trying to figure out this game. So something clicked. After going with her for so long, I started noticing the patterns, like patterns that I always look for things. How does this work? What is the pattern? What is making this work? Now, they told you that it was a predetermined ticket, right? They told you it was a predetermined ticket. So whatever you purchased at the register, all you was doing was taking it back to the computer and revealing what was on that ticket. But what it didn't tell you was, which this is the pattern that I found, yes, that was true, but other things could drop on your machine, such as almost like a real casino, but it really wasn't. Like many majors and grand things can drop on your computer, and when it did that, it changed the amount that you predetermined, right? So, but this took a while. I mean, this took me months of just sitting there looking and seeing what was actually going on. So I started telling my cousin, "Hey, cuz, like, I'm starting to notice something over and over. Like, when this happened, you get this. When that person, it happened with it, they get it too. Like, keep doing the same thing. Like, I will be looking on other people's stuff, seeing what they doing or whatever. And I'm like, keep doing the same thing. It's like y'all just sitting here playing, but y'all ain't paying attention to what's going on, right?" So, some people did, but most people didn't. So I started helping people, like telling them, well, if you do this or whatever. A lot of people was like, well, if you know so much, then why you're not doing it yourself? A lot of people used to tell me that. And then sometimes I think when I would tell my cousin, she would give me, "Girl, just go ahead and play so you can try to figure it out. You got it, whatever." Sure enough, she'd give me the money, and it wouldn't be nothing. She'd give me like $5-10, and I'll take that and flip it to 100, sometimes 1,000 or 15. So she started listening. She was like, "Girl, how are you taking this little bit of money and you making all this money? And I'm sitting here spending, I make money, but I'm not making it like that." So she started listening, and eventually other people started listening to me as well. And it was only because I was looking at the patterns, right? So people would help me, they would help me out and give me money and be like, "Hey, if you flip this for me, then I'll give you," the little hustler in me was coming out. So they would give me their stuff and I would flip it for them, and they would give me some money. So it was like, I wasn't using my money, I was just there helping other people, and they were helping me in return, right? Some people didn't. Some people were, "Oh, thank you, girl. I hope you get that here's a ticket. I hope you get you some money," or "I hope somebody give you something," and that'll be that, But we all know that